Hi and welcome. I would like to present to you Rakeen System, Production Module 2D and 3D. Today's topic, SmartKey and PIP. I'm going to describe SmartKey feature in 2D as well as 3D productions. Right now there are no CAM input signals assigned. Let's click on a gear symbol to open input configuration window. We can choose between a physical camera signal, NDI or a media file. I'll use a video file from my local disk. On the right-hand side, we can see image correction settings. In a similar way, we are going to choose signals for other inputs. For the last input, I'm choosing NDI signal. It will be displaying a slideshow presentation. Rakeen System has incorporated triggers to navigate between slides in a slideshow. Such signals have to go through chroma keying, erasing green background color. I'm going to use pre-saved chroma key settings. Right now the background is black, but in just a minute we will be able to change that. All the other signals also have to go through chroma keying process. Lastly, we need to remove green background from the slideshow presentation. SmartKey sources can be used as content in a virtual studio, for example on virtual monitors, or as PIP, meaning picture-in-picture. In 2D production, for every virtual camera, we can upload a different project or scenography file. For every virtual camera, I am going to load a different PIP project. Examples of such projects can be found on a local disk in a folder called PIP. For virtual camera 1, I'll choose a project with one monitor. On a small mixer in the bus A, we choose Cam1 as a monitor source. For buses B, C and D, we choose Off option. For virtual camera 2, we'll choose another project, this time with two monitors. Buses A and B will represent monitor sources. I'll choose Cam1 and Cam2. Other buses remain off. Similarly, we can set up virtual camera 3, for which I choose a project with 3 monitors. Such projects can be created from scratch and on your own using 2D editor VSM. Just choose your background image or video and on top add a monitor assigned to ABCD mixer index. In this case, I've chosen sources from Cam1, 2 and 3. For virtual camera 4, I'll upload a project of a virtual studio with a monitor. The file is called Weather C Closeup. As you can see now, for every virtual camera we can assign a different project with input sources. For virtual camera 4 we choose source C on ABCD mixer and we'll assign it to Cam4. In 2D production, virtual camera's movements are performed using 4 pre-programmed phases. Their configuration can be changed in the camera editor after clicking on Placement button. Using a computer mouse, we can set up a position and zoom of a camera. After clicking on one of the phases, you can see that the camera position is changing. We can set a duration of such transition. We can do that for each virtual camera. Right now, the backgrounds on the keyed signals from our inputs are black. SmartKey function allows you to apply another layer, such as a video file or graphics, on our monitors. The function applies background directly to our input signals, allowing us to create up to 4 keyed sources before we place them in a virtual studio. To do that, we need to press function Enable SmartKey in the Chroma Key 1 tab. Now we can click a button to open Media Tray window. By double-clicking on an empty space, a window pops out, from which we can choose a file we wish to use as a background. Free-to-use examples of video files can be found on a local disk in a folder called Movies. After adding a file to the media tray, click on the file once and then press Select or simply double-click on the file. The length of a video file can be changed using the markers. Closing this window will automatically result in playing the chosen file in a loop. When choosing option Show in Preview, Input's preview window will show the original camera source together with chosen background file. Extra fact: Capture Card in Rekin 3ds Pro has 4 additional SDA outputs dedicated for SmartKey. Getting back to the subject. As mentioned before, we can also use graphics as a SmartKey background in formats such as JPEG, BMP, and PNG. To create a more dynamic image, we can use animation function by clicking Enable Animation. When this function is on, the image will slightly zoom in and will start moving from its one edge to another. This option can be turned on and off in any moment. Now we will add a background video for a source in a second monitor at Virtual Camera 2. I'm enabling SmartKey in the second Chroma Key tab. When opening Media Tray, we will notice that it is the same for all SmartKey inputs. We can choose a previously chosen file or a new one. In this case, I'll also choose option Show in Preview. If using Rekin 3ds Pro, this stream would also be transmitted as an extra SDI output. SmartKey function is available for all kinds of input signals, NDI connection, physical input, and files. For every SmartKey input, we can set up different parameters of playback in Media Tray, even if we choose the same file for 2 different inputs. After closing Media Tray window, playback will automatically start from the beginning or from a place we set a marker indicator at on that video. This kind of configuration of 4 virtual cameras allow creating a full PIP production containing presenters and video or graphics. Various transitions between program and preview are available, such as take or smooth. Configuration of VC phases allow virtual camera movements such as pan, tilt, and zoom. As mentioned before, for Rekin 3ds Pro, the capture card offers 4 extra SDA outputs dedicated for SmartKey, so each input placed on a chosen background can create a separate output. Let's have a look at 3D production module now. Configuration of SmartKey is similar to 2D module. As inputs, I've chosen 3 video files and 1 NDI stream. Now I will load a ready set design. Files with set designs can be found on a local disk. The set I've chosen contains 4 objects of 3D monitors, 1 object of animated 3D monitor, and a sky map background of mountains. If pre-saved designs don't match our needs, we can create a set design from scratch in a built-in 3D Wizard editor. Using ABCD Mixer, we can assign signal sources to each virtual monitor in a set. I use CAM inputs. Each input has to be keyed. Files with Chroma Key settings have been prepared earlier, so now I am just loading and applying them. Virtual monitors present signals from CAM1 to CAM4. Each one now shows keyed signal on a black background. In the Chroma Key 1 tab, I'm going to turn Enable SmartKey for CAM1. I'm opening Media Tray. And now I need to choose a background file for that input signal. When loading the files to Media Tray, we can choose multiple files at once. Previews of chosen files now show in SmartKey Media Tray. By double-clicking, we can choose the desired file. We can choose start and finish playback markers on that video. After closing the window, the file will start playing in a loop. On the first monitor, we can now see a presenter on a new chosen background. We can choose Show in Preview option to see a signal on a new background in a preview input window. Now we are going to configure SmartKey for CAM2. By double-clicking, we can choose the desired file. We're doing the same thing for CAM3 as well. After closing the window, the file will start playing in a loop. Fourth monitor shows an image coming from an NDI signal. For this input, we also turn SmartKey feature on. Once again, I'm turning Show in Preview on, this time for the 4th input. Just like that, we've finished configuring views on virtual monitors. In a camera setup window, we can set up shots for each virtual camera. We can create a shot by moving an image to a desired frame using a computer mouse. By blocking Y and Z axis, it's only possible to move a camera on X axis. I'm creating a clone of the shot and moving the virtual camera to the next monitor. This way, I'm creating a virtual camera slider effect. Next shot will display monitor number 4. And the next shot I'm going to make will move the virtual camera through 3D scenery. First, I need to unlock Y and Z axis. Below the 4 monitors, we will soon see another monitor, which will appear when we switch to Virtual Camera 2. For each virtual camera, we can set up to 15 different shots. An advantage of 3D over 2D system is a possibility to set up virtual cameras in any position and angle in relation to monitors. We can create any kind of camera movements between the shots. We can show one or multiple monitors at the same time. We can create any kind of composition. Movements between shots can be programmed to last a specific amount of time. After finalizing the configuration for every virtual camera, we can begin a production. We can now easily move from one point to another in a 3D setting. Use SmartKey to create effective slides and presentations. 3D production allows animating objects, for example virtual monitors. We can manage animations through a built-in animation control panel. And that's all for today. Thank you for your attention.
Wrecking. Keen on record.